All right, before we get to some of the wider NHL stuff, let's close the book on the 2024 World Juniors. So, no Sabres come away with the gold medal, but Noah Osland and Anton Wahlberg, they do come up just short. They lose in the gold medal game to the Americans. They each get the silver medal. And I got to say, Noah Osland is dynamite. He was dynamite throughout the whole tournament. He finishes with 10 points. Uh, just a superb tournament for him. He was outstanding. I couldn't believe that they gave World Juniors MVP to Jonathan Lekkerimäki. He was on Ausland's wing. I can't believe that anybody that voted for him thought that he was the one driving play. It was all Osland. I couldn't believe he didn't have 3 or 4 points in the gold medal game. He was everywhere.
I think he's
Yeah,
definitely on everybody's radar now.
yeah, he was
Everybody's
awesome.
like, he's legit. He's one of our top prospects, and I can't wait for him to get over here. So,
But can I ask, like, where's the room for these guys? Where's the room for these guys? That's all I'm gonna say.
if you have
Take
talent, you figure it out.
That's true. That don't get me wrong, that is true. But you got to make some tough decisions here. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Not all these guys are going to see the NHL. It's just a matter of numbers on a piece of paper. So, what do you do? That'll be a fun topic to talk about going forward, but as of now, like that breakaway goal and then him hitting the dab after that, that was pretty electric. Got the crowd going in his home country.
Yeah, that was some rock star stuff. That was a really cool moment. But like JP said, it's really cool because he played in the World Juniors last year, but with this one being his coming out party, it's the first time I'm sure a lot of Sabres fans really got a good look at just what he can bring to the table because he's playing overseas. He's not playing with the Americans or even the WHL. You can't the opportunity to see him play is kind of it's minuscule in comparison to a lot of their other guys.
Hmm.
So hopefully now people understand why he was taken 16th overall, why he was not only drafted before Kulik, but the Sabres themselves ranked him above Yuri Kulik. And you can see some of the upside that he brings. So fantastic tournament for Noah Osland. Hopefully he finishes his SHL season very well. It's such a damn shame he didn't play with the Amerks this season. That would have been fun to see.
Hmm.
But the only things going forward, we talked a little bit about it last episode. He just kind of needs to fill out his frame, but the hockey sense is there, and obviously the skills there. It's all there for him. Great tourney for him. Now for Anton Wahlberg, solid tourney for him too. He looked really good. I Noah Osland's wing. Obviously, he's got less finesse than Noah Osland, but being a bigger guy, that's kind of expected. His defensive game was very, very good throughout the tournament. Obviously, the offense just kind of didn't shine through as much. So, good tournament for the two Swedes. Unfortunately, they do come up short in that gold medal game. Um, I don't know. What did you guys think about the Ryan Leonard kiss to the crowd?
Unfortunately, come up short, Jonah. What are you talking about? Your home country just won World Juniors. Unfortunate for them, I guess.
I don't really root for countries in the World Juniors. Unless, if it's USA versus Canada, then go States because obviously we are superior to Canada, but I mean that a game like that, I'm kind of rooting for Sweden there. Kind of rooting. I mean, what are they 1-7 in gold medal games now, all time, or maybe not all
Yeah.
time, but over their last eight.
Well, the thing about the kiss to the crowd thing, like, I mean, yeah, maybe it was a little much, but also Sweden's comments at the end of the game, their captain was like, it's tough to lose and it just, makes it even harder when you're showboating. And I understand all that, but it's like Sweden hasn't been innocent with losing with grace over the past few years. I mean, for God's sakes, they threw their medals into the crowd, their silver medals into the crowd one tournament.
I was
And
here.
then yeah, and then at the end of the game, what was it, a few nights ago, like there's just a big fight that started. Like maybe that was instigated by the US, but again, like, it's just kids, man. They're all young. It's a game. It happens.
Let the kids have fun, let them play. You know, if you want to grow the game, stuff like this has to happen. So, all the people who are complaining about it, they're mostly Canadians. They're mostly just butthurt that they got eliminated and didn't even get a medal. So there's that. But you know, let the kids have fun. At the end of the day, I mean, these guys are younger than us. I mean, they are living their life. They are, you know, winning one the top tournament in the world for them. So let them have their fun. I thought it was awesome what Ryan Leonard did. And I agree with Jonah. I'm not going to root against the USA, but I am going to root for my prospects.
Yeah, you're outnumbered, Christian. That's
Okay.
right.
As per usual on this show, I'm outnumbered.
All right. So on to the other medal winning Sabres prospect. Yuri Kulik and Chechia do end up winning the bronze medal. Kulik finishes with a nice 6-6 stat line in his tournament. So very different from last year, because last year they lose to Canada in the gold medal game, and Yuri Kulik did kind of turn the puck over on the game-winning goal that led to Canada winning. So at least he gets to finish his World Juniors career on a high note. And honestly, I was really hoping that they would win this tournament,
Hmm.
because the point was raised that if Chechia won the gold medal, what would that say about Kulik's World Junior career in like all time conversations? Because, you know, Chechia, not a country that's usually in the later rounds, and they would have had a silver medal, a gold medal, and then I'm trying to remember what they did back in 2021. But great World Junior run for Yuri Kulik. He was always such a powerhouse on offense for the Chechen team. Probably not, I guess it wasn't the dominating tournament that you would want from him, but he put up the point totals and they got their medal. What else can you really ask for? And
Yeah, he was electric.
as you would see, he wasn't the only really top gun prospect that struggled in this tournament.
Still buried the puck a ton. So
He did what he does best.
yeah,
Had a few
put the
power
puck in the
play
net.
goals, had some nice shots. So, you know, he does what Yuri Kulik does.
And as I alluded to, or as JP actually alluded to by throwing some shots at the country as a whole, Team Canada was eliminated early. They go out in the first round. No medals for Canada. 0.
Was
So
that the
they go
first
home.
time in how many years?
And it's been
They've
a few
only
years.
they've only not medaled, I think, like twice in the past 20 years or something.
Yeah. Well, the story of the tournament for them, their big guns really didn't show up, and that
No.
does kind of include Matthew Savoy. He only finished with 1 point in 4 games.
And
So
Rousseau, their goaltender, did not play well. So kind of handicapped them a little bit right off the rip.
yeah, the only one to really put up some numbers for them was Celebrini. So they go home early. The rest of the world cheers. Obviously, not the tournament you wanted from Matthew Savoy, but like I said, he wasn't the only prospect that really struggled, even for his own team. I mean, Matthew Poitras was at the tournament, and he's been playing NHL games for the Bruins and been doing very
Hmm.
well, and he didn't have a great tournament. So,
No, not at
not the
all.
end of the world. Obviously, he was dealing with injury, as we know. Don't put too much stock into it, but not the tournament you wanted. And I think with Savoy having a down year, you're kind of or a down tournament. I think you're starting to see some Noah Oslin truthers emerge from the darkness. Starting to see that maybe he brings a bit more to the table. I mean, we talked about it a bit last episode, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in the months to come when we talk about greater acquisitions for the Sabres. But it is going to be interesting to see what prospects they do end up parting with. Savoy is the one with probably the highest pedigree, probably the most upside, and yet, man, Oslin is just such a fun player and might be the one they need more. So, storylines to watch.
I don't know, man. I think it's going to come down to a situation where you have a partner in place for a guy, and it's just going to be a matter of like who they want. So it might not be what the Sabres want to give up. It might be a case of what another team wants in return. So they might pick their guy. And if it's worth, the established NHL guy, I think that's what they'll do. So you never know.
Before we get off of the World Juniors, and more specifically Matthew Savoy was dealt in the WHL,
Yeah.
and the return was glorious. Glorious. Just a stockpile of draft picks.
I love the trades in the junior leagues. They are hilarious. Because it wasn't even just
It's
him.
7
It was
picks.
Connor Geeky too. Like they're rebuilding. Wenatchee's rebuilding.
I guess just you never see that today in
They're
the
like
NHL.
second in their division or
I mean, you
conference
never
too.
see it really.
Yeah.
Never see
yeah.
it.
Felt like an NBA trade.
I mean, listen to this. So Matthew Savoy goes to the Moose Jaw Warriors. Wenatchee gets a first-round pick in 2024, a third-round pick in 2024, a sixth-round pick in 2024, an eighth-round pick in 2025, a second-round pick in 2026, a first-round pick in 2027, and a fourth-round pick in 2027.
That's so stupid. Who comes up with that?
Do you think it
who
was
is
like? Do you think
in
the
the
deal
front
was
of-
like being held up because the Moose Jaw wouldn't be willing to part with their eighth round pick next year?
I know. That's the
How
funny
does that
thing.
get thrown in there?
That's a
I don't
crucial
know.
pick.
I don't know.
I
Wild
don't know.
stuff. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. Remember the Shane Wright trade last year? That was even more nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.